And we all know that the first casualty of his war has been jobs. And he has tried to run from that record and run from that record and run from that record. And this is not an applause line, because it is too serious and it's too disturbing. But because Scott Walker chose to launch his ideological civil war, this state has seen a larger job loss than any state in this country. That is a serious problem. Under Scott Walker, between March of 2011 and March of 2012, Wisconsin was the only state in this country to lose jobs. Why did that happen? Because he took his eye off the ball. Instead of doing what he said he was going to do, which was to create 250,000 jobs, he looked for new ways to divide us from each other. And that division is exactly opposite from the way I will govern. Because in difficult times, we do not need a leader who will divide us. We need a leader who will bring us together. And that is the leader I will be. We need a leader who will be independent. And I will be independent. I will not be beholden to out-of-state special interests. And we all know what's going on here. Scott Walker, instead of staying home in Wisconsin and focusing on creating jobs here, has decided that he is going to be a rock star to the far right in this nation. And he has traveled to California, to Texas, to Illinois again, to Florida. You name it, he's been there. I think he was in Iowa yesterday trying to raise money. And he's trying to raise money talking about how successful he's been going after workers' rights in this country. And he wants to set the example. Well, it's time we set the example in this state and tell him that we are not going to do that. The message we are sending tonight is that Wisconsin wants a governor who is going to stay home, who doesn't want to be a rock star to the far right, but wants to create jobs. Because there are too many people in this state who are hurting. There are too many people in the middle class, people who want to be in the middle class, who have to work 2 jobs, people who don't have health insurance, people who want their children to get an education just like everyone in this room does. But what we have to understand is who he is listening to. He is not listening to the people of this state. If he were listening to the people of this state, he would not be taking this tour around the country. He would be staying right here, focusing on jobs. That's the challenge that we have. And this is a historic election. We all know it's a historic election. And there are some fundamental questions that the people of this state are going to ask themselves as they prepare to vote 4 weeks from today. Do we want a governor who has divided this state like it's never been divided before? Do we want a governor who has caused this state to lose more jobs than any other state in this country? Do we want a governor who focuses on giving tax breaks to corporations and the wealthiest people in this state? Do we want a governor who raises 60 to 70% of his funds from outside the state of Wisconsin? And do we want a governor who has to have a legal defense fund, a criminal defense fund? We do not want that in this state.